everybody, and welcome to Usapang Kahusayan, where we discuss the different challenges, habits, and attributes that limit us to be the best that we can be in whatever field we are in. We highlight topics that some people may consider as taboo or turn a blind eye to, or sometimes they don't even realize that it's happening right under their noses. But through this show, we are hoping to help people realize that just because other people do it, it doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. We have to go beyond what's normal or acceptable to sprinkle our own bit of excellence in the things that we say and do, whether it's at home or at work or within our own community. But before I go, I should introduce myself. My name is Yona Signer, and I'm the founder of Empowered Virtual Services, also known as EVS, and Kaya Services. And I'd like to welcome my co-host, Martine De Luna, who is a wife, a mum, and a coaching-informed consultant who helps other women create heart-led services, offers, and a personal brand that clicks without losing one's head and health. So welcome, Martine.
Hi, glad to be here again for our monthly powwow or whatever we call it here.
Yes, exactly. So, I'm so happy that you're always able to join me here. And I know this is something that we, tend to discuss often. For today's excellence talk, Martina, we are discussing a topic that impacts each and every one of us. And that is really about believing in ourselves. I know to some that may seem so simple, or perhaps, something that they don't really talk about. But, if we actually don't discuss these things or even think about it, it actually has a flow-on effect on our own relationships, our work, our aspirations, our goals, and of course, everyday life, right? So for you, absolutely, Martine, what does it mean for you to, believe in yourself?
Oh, well, gosh, I think it started when my dad first told us. So we had just moved back here to Manila, and we were kind of getting like teased and ostracized for, not being able to speak Filipino very clearly back then, not being able to, just not being able to fit in. And then my dad, this is when he told us, never apologize for who you are, and he was saying, don't apologize that we were not raised here, that you were, you're a bit different because your school was different, your upbringing was different. So never apologize. And for me, that was the first instance of confidence, being able to show up as who you are, not for the sake of triggering other people, but because you don't have to seek permission from anyone else to be you. Yeah. So that was really the first instance. I was around 15 back then. That was what I meant by confidence can look like being who you are and not feeling like you have to submit to the opinions or notions of other people, right? And it's not because you're triggering them, but it's because you understand that you give yourself permission first, right? To claim your desires, to be who you really are, not what do other people think, and then I'll fit in, and my confidence will come from fitting into their expectations, right? So that's not what confidence has ever been for me. Confidence for me has been showing up visibly as who you are and not apologizing for who that person is, especially if it's not doing any harm to anybody. Yeah, it's just different. It just feels different for them. Yeah.
No, that's so true. I mean, some people say, there's always different sides to that, right? And I think for confidence, everybody has a different way of looking at it. And I suppose one of the things is we also shouldn't confuse confidence with arrogance either, because I think that they're two different things, right? But some people may feel like, a confident person may be arrogant. No, it's not, because that's sometimes some people choose to not, to not be who they want to be, because they might feel like they're not showing, that they're showing arrogance. So, some people
Yeah.
will be like, oh, is it like me being mayabang? Or, but it's not like that. It's just really about you being yourself. And what I really liked what you said, Martine, when you said you're not hurting anybody, right?
Yeah.
You're being
And you're not doing it.
respectful to
You're not
others.
doing it to target them and say, I'm going to say this so
Yeah,
that person will be triggered, which is coming
exactly.
from not a place of service, So that's where we want to caution. Like, am I doing this because I'm wounded in some way? Or am I doing this or am I showing up because I believe in myself that I'm a good person, that I can contribute, that I have a quality that's valuable to people. So it's being able to see that difference. And I think that comes with maturity around confidence as well.
Yeah. And I think you also touched on another important point in terms of, are we really being of service to others when we don't speak up? Because, speaking up and, really speaking up and then showing up, it's also like, if we can see that something could be done in a different way, and perhaps in a better way, like you could recommend a better way because it's either one, more efficient, more cost effective. It could be, many things. But if you don't say anything, then, for example, your client, they won't know that there's actually a better way to do something.
Yes.
So we need to bring that up from ourselves to just say, oh, in a respectful way. Oh, like, for example, excuse me, Martine, like Martine's my client. Yeah, you've told me that I should be using this tool. However, I've learned that if I use this tool, it will actually make it quicker. So you're not saying, oh, Martine, do this. That's complete. That comes off in a different way, right? But that in itself, for me to actually say to you, that's also showing confidence. Showing confidence that you're believing in yourself, believing in your skills, believing in the service that you're providing, because you're always showing the best of yourself. And, when I was talking about that, sprinkling our bit of excellence, that's one of the things I was talking about, where we know that something could be done better, but we don't just, put it to the side. We actually know that we could say something better, we could be better, we could be of better service, but rather than just knowing that, we're actually doing something about it, right?
It's coming to that awareness, it's like I say, everything is awareness. Awareness brings clarity to your words, clarity to what you want to communicate, clarity to the conversations that you want to have. Just like the example you were saying, like, I have an opinion, and it's not to diminish what your opinion is, like if it's a dialogue with a client, but it's to serve. I feel like if I bring this idea, my opinion, into the mix, then we can have a more expansive solution for everybody else, right? But some of us, especially and I'm going to mention this, with Filipinos, one of the things that we navigate around is, and it might be a bit taboo, but it's like the self-consciousness we have around being our nationality. When we're comparing ourselves maybe to a client who's a foreigner or somebody who's hired us from another country, it can, there's this subconscious kind of subculture that we take on. And sometimes it affects our confidence. Like, oh, I'm here in this side of the world, and I feel like my opinion might not be received well by, them. They're a foreigner, they're earning dollars. That's a huge one I've found. Like, oh, I can't communicate because I'm just the assistant. I'm just the third world Filipino outsourced hired person, right? So, but if we subscribe to that belief, if we don't believe ourselves as any more than that, then there is no confidence because it's attached to our identification of somebody else. So that's where we lose confidence, and we also lose the ability to become a valuable asset to an organization. So we have to be mindful of that. And, we can help in respects in those respects. I know you and I, have, certain tools and skills we use in our coaching, in our mentoring, that helps individuals to, like unlearn that mindset and take on a more empowering one. And that's the first step to confidence. It's like, what mindset is not serving me? And what do I need to replace that with?
Yeah.
That's a huge
and
conversation.
I think it's a huge conversation, but it's also an important conversation, not just to have with other people, but it's also an important, critical conversation we must have for ourselves, with ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because we need to be aware of the things that we do. Because, the way that we actually share our confidence, you literally can see and can feel someone's confidence through their words, written, verbal, the way they present themselves, even just, having, their camera off, camera on, the way they look at you, the way, just the words in which that they use, we have to remember, right? Like, I know that, people have a thing with, being called a virtual assistant. I suppose that's another topic, because I think we have to also remember that being a virtual assistant, it's not just, we need to have a different conversation about labels.
That's another one,
because I feel like this is unpacking a different, it's just going to be taking on a different thing. But because I think labels, I don't think we should be, focusing too much on the labels, but we should be focusing on the service that we provide.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Like here in Australia, like it doesn't really matter, like in terms of what you call like the role, like it doesn't really matter. You can call me founder, you can call me Yona, you can call me, you know what I mean? Like you can, what I know
isn't attached to it, right?
No,
That's
it's not. All I know is that I am doing this, I'm going to do this work, and I know that this is my vision.
Yeah.
And I know that this is what I have to do. And it doesn't matter what label is put onto next to my name. All I know is in my heart, I'm providing a service, and I'm confident that, with not only is it with my purpose, my heart is aligned to my mind, but it's not just about my skills. It's my skills combined with my work experience, combined with how much I believe in myself as well.
Yes, I love that.
I think we can't just play on the fact that we've got this certification. You could have a degree. You could have 10 certifications, but it doesn't necessarily mean you will provide that service that you're saying that you will deliver, right?
That's absolutely right.
So I think it's, it's one of those things that we need to combine all of the things that we have, because, we've had this conversation previously where Filipinos, 100%, they are so resourceful.
We are.
Yeah.
Right?
We're resourceful.
We make ways, unlike other
100%. Yeah. 100%.
I just had to.
So, we in our
account.
So, oh my so,
lumalabas ang kapinoyan ko, diba?
Yeah. No, it's just one of those things that, I think we have got so many blessings. I think I like to call it that. We've got so many blessings. So let's not get hung up on what we don't have.
Yes.
And let's focus on what we do have. And because that is really about what resourcefulness is about. It's not just about the things that were gained or earned, but it's also already what we've got within ourselves and then our family. Because a lot of the time, I know in our culture, we are,
super important.
Family is everything to our culture. And so just using that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So using that as like the inspiration and the motivation to I just like, it's just one of those things I think, for believing ourselves is really, it really can show in the things that we do. And sometimes sometimes would you agree? Sometimes it also is in what we don't say as well.
Yes. And sometimes, we have to observe if am I not saying this because of maybe how confidence was modeled to me growing up, and this is a huge piece for people like here, for instance, when we're doing a Zoom and I always encourage people to turn on their camera, right? Because I like, as a coach, I would like to see the facial expressions.
Yeah.
I would like to perceive like what, what their body language is, not to judge them, but so that I can hold the space. And sometimes, and this can get, like in an organization, like I wonder if maybe the VA or the contractor is not turning on their camera. Is it because of some perception that they have about themselves? Is it because culturally we're more like a lurking culture than we are an engaging and interacting culture? It really interests me. And some questions that I like to help people with when it comes to confidence is, well, what was confidence like for me growing up? How was it modeled to me? So usually I find very interesting the connection to be that, they had parents that weren't maybe articulate, or they parents that didn't really give a strong opinion. It was more of like, just don't say anything so that you won't be criticized for what you might say. That's really interesting. And it's fascinating how you connect that to a person not wanting to turn on their camera to be face to face with a client. It's so interesting because all of this struggle that we have around confidence, it's actually goes back to some early memories or some early modeling of how our own families, our own parents, maybe for a lot of people, it's the parents, did not model confidence, at least in the way that confidence is embodied these days, which is, not giving yourself the permission, not waiting for another person to chime in when you have an opinion, but being very grounded in your opinion and being ready to defend it at many points. So I know a lot of people don't share their opinions because they feel like, well, what if somebody has a different opinion and I can't defend myself? Well, honey, that's your responsibility. It's like that's part of the lesson of calibrating to confidence. It's like being willing to put your opinion out there, but being able to receive different types of feedback as well, because that's going to challenge you to step up. That's going to challenge you to, say, well, I do want to defend my point. I do want to, stake my claim on that opinion.
Yeah.
Right. So it goes both ways, really. It goes both ways.
Actually, it's interesting that you say that because, I am also in the notion of that is your opinion and you can put it out there. And it also doesn't necessarily mean you have to defend it.
Yes.
Exactly. How we respect other people's opinion. We put ourselves out there and we put our opinions out there. Again, when we say we put our opinions out there, we still have to ensure, guys, that we are doing so in a respectful manner.
Yes,
because
exactly.
If you do that in a different way, if you're being derogatory, if you're being, disrespectful or unprofessional, then of course you're going to be targeted for an attack because that's just not being a kind human being, right? So we always should be putting our opinions forward in a respectful manner. But then, we should also be, you could also just be accepting of the fact that I've put out there and I believe this, I respect others. I don't necessarily have to defend it because, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's also a way in which we can look at things.
Or
like you can defend it.
You can stand in it, but, we don't have to be in a space where it will polarize us from each other. So like I was talking about, I was observing a political conversation the other day. And political. I love how they, not here, friends in the US, but I love how they resolved it. It's like, I think one was an independent and another one was like a conservative. So like, but they came to the agreement that, even if we have opposing views, it's not going to diminish like the respect that I have for you as a person.
Correct.
So we can have different opinions, but at the end of the day, when the discussion is done, it's not going to kill our friendship. It's not gonna, we have to be mature enough to have different opinions and then have the space to hold the opinions. But then after the discussion, can we have the maturity to not let those opinions affect like the friendship or the relationship? And that for me is one way to determine, am I truly confident? Because if I was, then any disagreement that we had, I could leave it on the table for the hour or whatever that we had that discussion, and then move into our friendship, not letting it affect that. Yeah. So that's huge
I
for
mean,
me.
even like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a friendship, right, as well. I mean, as long as that there's whatever relationship that is, be it professional or a personal relationship, just to put it into like, maybe not, I wouldn't say it's an everyday context, but something, let's just show another real life example, right?
Yeah.
NBA players, PBA players, they will defend and go up against each other, and they would be wearing their uniforms, be team on team, and like be really like offensive, defensive, all of that stuff. But then at the end of the day, they shake hands.
Yes.
They shake hands, they get off the court, and some they might even hang out on the weekend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that there are many basketball players who, they could be godfathers to their opponents, like, children or whatever.
Yeah,
just as an extreme, but the fact is, that is what happens. We have the space where we have differing opinions, we're on different teams, but then once the ref whistles, that's it. We're good. Yeah. Everybody shakes hands, gives each other a hug. Yeah. And we can still continue to respect each other, even if we have differing opinions. And so, I think, again, like what you said, that also shows that level of confidence that we have within ourselves. That it's okay for us to have differences. It's okay if we come from different places, different countries. Even if we all may not necessarily have English as our first language, it's also okay. Because the thing is, it's funny because we all have different ways of saying things, but it's still the same message. It's still the same word.
Yeah.
And that's what it is with confidence, right? We all have got different definitions. We've all got different meanings. We've all got all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, confidence is within each and every one of us.
Yes.
And, and I love the fact that it is one of those things that it's something that we've learned growing up. And it may be something that we need to unlearn. If not unlearn, maybe we may need to
reframe.
Reframe
it, because it's not that it's not useful, but maybe, I was just saying earlier, I think I'm in a different conversation, like we are in an ever evolving planet. Opinions, mindsets, perceptions, they are going to change. And so we have to realize that we create the space for those changes. And that's where reframing comes in. So reframing is a quality of acknowledging how this universe works. A mentor of mine, Bob Proctor, my favorite saying from him is, we are always expanding and being fully expressed. So that means that nothing's ever done. So it's false to say that, oh, this is my opinion, and this is how it is. It's false to say that. That's not how this universe is designed. This universe is designed to course correct. There's a law of karma in this reality that we have. So we have to realize that everything is subject to discussion, deliberation, and evolution. So we can have varying opinions, but like you said, we can be like sportsmen about it. We can shake hands at the end of deliberation. We can have disagreements, but can we be mature enough that after we've had our deliberations, to move on, to reframe how we see things? so that
Yeah.
we are looking at everybody with mutual respect. Yeah, Kit says all for the love of the game. Because actually, this life is a game. It is a game, like we're always navigating like our different moves in our lives, our different strategies, how to get
Yeah.
ahead, how to pull back,
Yeah.
how to accept loss and defeat. So I
Yeah.
love that analogy. And at the end of the day, confidence comes with realizing I pivoted, I made changes, I made shifts, and I'm still whole. I'm still like
Yeah.
this person. Nothing was diminished from me. My worth did not suffer. I did not change, for the sake of others or to pander to anybody. But I acknowledge that I'm being expanded. My expression is
Mm.
being challenged, and I'm always changing. And that's a more fruitful way to live,
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than just, oh, this is just how it is and set in
Yeah.
stone, which is
Yeah. And I
not
mean,
expansive.
well, that's it, right? And I think when you said that life, that is what's amazing about life too, is that we have, for every single day that we wake up, we have the opportunity to be the best that we can be. We have
Yes.
the opportunity to excel in whatever it is that we're doing. And we have the
Yes.
opportunity to also continue to expand ourselves, to continue to sprinkle that bit of excellence, whether it's if we continue with, training ourselves, if we're creating a success circle around us of mentors, coaches, or, just people who can, even just a group of people who are like-minded,
Yeah.
that we're able to stand with in a circle to be able to bounce, ideas off.
And to witness
Yeah.
us for who we are. Like, I feel
Correct.
that we need more of that. We need more people who can witness us and who we can witness as well in their evolution and how they're growing and how they're changing.
Yes. Yeah. And I think, I want to be able to bring this up, for EVS. This is exactly what we're trying to do. One of the things, and this is something that we've always spoken about, because, you have seen the transformation in me, and you've also seen the transformation in which I'm trying to bring EVS and the team and the community, because our focus isn't just about the technical aspect of things.
Correct.
Because we know that the technical aspect of things, that can be learned, and it can be learned by anybody.
It can be developed.
Whereas it's those it's those things within us that, we may need mentoring, we may need coaching through, consultation through, and perhaps, we may need to just learn through experience. But it's something that we acknowledge as a community or as an organization, that we ensure that the virtual assistants or the freelancers that we work with, they continue to embody their values, their own personal values. And we also ensure that we support them in the way where they say, yes, I'm open to change. I'm open to developing. I'm open to transforming. Because it's really about, again, bringing it back to how are we serving others? And, how are we serving others? Like how, for me, like how am I being of service to my team? How am I being of service to my colleagues, to the people I interact with? So when we say the word service, everyone, it's not about, being subservient.
That's right.
It's not about, I'm just a yes person and just doing that. I truly believe that I am a person of service, and that is part of what I do, and it's part of my role. And I'm proud of that. I'm damn proud of that, because, I think when I'm able to, at the end of the day, when I'm empowering people, actually, that's actually empowering me too.
That's true. Because you're recognizing your role in this like ecosystem. So I was watching this documentary like about the oceans, and there's an ecosystem that exists among marine life, and it exists and it thrives because everybody knows their place in the great collaboration of marine life. And I think, us humans, we forget that we're also an ecosystem, in our companies, in our organizations, even in our families. And so there's really going to be a give and take. That is absolutely in the fabric of human existence. How am I going to gracefully navigate the give and take of being human? That's a really powerful question to answer for ourselves every day.
That's so true. So true. I love that. And and I think this is always something, and for those who haven't yet followed us, do follow us. It's at Empowered Virtual Services. We have an Instagram as well as a Facebook page, as well as Twitter and LinkedIn. We've got all of those beautiful things. But please follow us, because this is actually one of the topics that is really important to us, especially at this point in time. I know sometimes people are losing a little bit of hope because of the current situation that we're in. However, there may be things around us that we can't control, but we can certainly control ourselves. And if we don't allow external things to impact what's within us, how we believe in ourselves, then we will still be able to provide service to others. We'll still be able to be the best mother, father, whatever it is that you are, sister, brother. You could still be that person, even if there's things that's happening around you. And, this is really something that's truly important, because it's really one of those things that really makes the person different. Right, Martine? It's not just about all of those other things, but I think the way we look at ourselves is really, it's so important. It really is so important
to our identity, to our confidence, right? How we see ourselves.
Yeah. And so one of the things, I invite everybody, we've actually created an amazing workbook, a free workbook that Team EVS has created. And it's really something that we thought would be a really great way to for people to really contemplate, to really reflect on important things, which we're hoping will prompt them to believe in themselves more. And I think when we start to believe in ourselves more, we are going to be empowered to do greater things. I really believe in that. And this is the reason why the team has created this, because, if we are able to create a community of people who believe in themselves, then they will also believe in the fact that we can create a better place for us to live. We could be a better person to our family, our friends, our community. And we could also play a greater part in being of better service in our roles. And, and I think, it's just something that's close to my heart in particular, because I really hope that this is something that we can create within the community. And so, yes, it's a free download, guys. Check it out. That is the URL, tinyurl.com/EVS free workbook, or you could also download it from empoweredvirtualservices.com. So I really invite everybody to do that. And, I just hope that we would love to hear your feedback. Let us know if if you don't catch the link. Let us know, reach out, because we can, certainly send you the link. We will also put the link on the comments here. But keep following us, because we are going to really be making a big focus on the intrinsic things, right, Martine? This year, EVS have got wonderful partners. We have got wonderful partners in this space. And, being able to work with the likes of Martine, people of her level who are able to have honest conversations with people, who are able to, at the end of the day, really look at things in a heart-centered manner, but still without, compromising our head and our heart. And so it's just like I want to make sure that EVS this year, we're really going to transform in a way where we do that, and we're able to provide the support and create partnerships so that the people, the virtual assistants, the freelancers, we're proud to be virtual assistants and freelancers, because we know we provide great service, because we are amazing. We do great work.
You are doing amazing work, and that's why I'm working with you.
Exactly. And that's the thing,
guys.
Well, and that's the thing as well.
Work with them. If you need a VA, if you need a team, they are the best team.
Well, that's the thing, right? This is the thing. We also have to, let me remind all the virtual assistants and freelancers out there, the people overseas or the people within country who are working with you, they reached out to you and hired you.
Yes.
Right? Let me remind you about that. They reached out to you to hire you. So there is something about you. It's not just your skills. It's not just your work experience. Like, there's something about you as an individual, right? So, let's just remember that.
That needs to be on a T-shirt. That needs to be on a savable Instagram.
Oh my God. I'm telling you now, I've got big plans. We are, EVS, I'm telling you, this isn't just about the technical aspects, guys. We're really going to step it up in real fun ways. And we know amazing collaborations this year. Yes, there are things that are happening, but we're creating some exciting things behind the scenes for everybody. But to start off with, we've got the free EVS, the EVS free workbook available to really help everybody to really believe in themselves more. I like to add the word more, because I know you believe in yourself. But I want to just remind you that there's, more blessings, more greater things. So I want you to believe in yourself more. And and then we've got some exciting programs coming up. So yes, hold on, watch this space, and just continue being a part of the community. But Martine, before we go, did you have any final words?
Yeah, just to remember that you give yourself permission. Okay, everybody, like, you are the permission that you've been waiting for, right?
Yes.
So, like, when you enter your work day with that in mind, like, it can be your mantra. Like, I am my own permission slip, right? I don't need anybody else to like tell me who I am or what I'm good for. And when you bring that into your work, just see the difference that brings energetically to the experience, to how you deliver, to how you show up for a meeting, to your embodiment when you turn on that camera. Maybe put a little makeup on if you're if you're into that stuff. Just really embody that belief that you are the permission. That's it. Nobody can give a more powerful embodiment than you.
Yes, so yes. I love that. No, I love that. It is really about giving others as well. Like, right? It's you give yourself permission, but it's also, you also can say, no, I'm not going to give that type of feedback or like that negativity to come in, So yes, again, everybody, thank you so much. Maraming salamat to everybody who has joined us on Facebook and on Kumu as well. Please, again, follow us on at Empowered Virtual Services, and do download the EVS free workbook to help you believe in yourself more, guys. And watch out, because we've got some exciting events coming up in the next few weeks. And we really want to create an amazing community of confident virtual assistants and freelancers who are willing and wanting to sprinkle that bit of excellence in all of the service and work that they do. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Martine. Thank you for always
Yona.
such big support to us.
I love being here.
We love having you here. So thank you so much.
Gotta hop on to a coaching call.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.